A lot has happened since the last EU elections: a global pandemic, conflict in Ukraine, supply chain problems and an energy crisis, all of which have caused the once mighty German economy to stumble. It's now on course to be the only major economy to post negative growth in 2023. Over in Poland, there's a new government with the former EU Council President Donald Tusk at the helm. His presence will improve the Warsaw-Brussels relationship, but some are sceptical over whether that will lead to big changes.
Well, I would say that there is this project to federalize Europe and to give more power to Brussels. And that would include issues such as foreign policy. And the previous government was against that sort of reforms. And I think that the current one, as much as it will be much more friendly towards Brussels, will be against.
Polls turned out in record numbers for parliamentary elections in 2023. Across the EU, the aim will be for a European parliamentary election turnout higher than the 50.66% recorded in 2019. Which was an 8-point increase on 2014. Domestically, EU member states have seen a rise in support for right-wing and far-right parties. The nationalist Sweden Democrats are now part of the ruling coalition, while there were right-wing victories in Finland, Greece and in the Netherlands, where the far-right Freedom Party now holds the most seats. Back in Germany, the far-right AfD has surged in the polls to second place. It's a trend that could be repeated in the EU Parliament, but some analysts aren't worried.
They pick up people's emotions and they surf on a wave of being afraid, being angry, that they partly also organize. We have seen this in Italy with "we are flooded by migration," and that's a 60 million people country that welcomed 60,000 migrants. So what is a flood? The other thing is the European Parliament is not the power center of the European Union. So even if a number of countries see an increase of protest parties like the Alternative für Deutschland, this will not necessarily mean that we will see a different European Union.
This election won't just see the 705 seats in the European Parliament up for grabs. It will also signal the end of the current term for the two biggest jobs in the EU. European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen is yet to confirm if she will run for a second 5-year term in the job, while it will be goodbye to Charles Michel as he comes to the end of his second 2.5-year term as EU Council President, and the former Belgian PM must stand down. While it's unlikely that these elections will result in huge changes in the direction the EU is headed, there will certainly be some new faces at the helm. Peter Oliver, CGTN, Berlin.